SEC moves to scrap a 20-year-old rule that blocks AMMs from tokenized stocks. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has proposed eliminating its order protection rule, a cornerstone of American equity market structure since 2005. According to a report from CoinDesk on June 12, 2026, the change would remove one of the main structural barriers that has kept automated market makers, AMMs, out of trading tokenized U.S. securities. The Order Protection Rule, part of Regulation NMS, requires brokers and trading venues to route an order to whichever venue is displaying the best available price. It was designed to stop trade-throughs, cases where a trade executes at a worse price while a better quote sits unfilled somewhere else. For 2 decades, it has been a defining feature of how U.S. stocks change hands. The rule that AMMs cannot satisfy, an automated market maker, prices trades against a pool of assets using a formula, not a displayed order book, with a single best quote. That design is what makes AMMs the dominant trading model in DeFi. It is also what makes the order protection rule a wall. A pool-based venue cannot easily prove it matched the national best displayed price at the moment of execution, because it does not quote that way in the first place. Removing the trade-through obligation would take that conflict off the table. If venues no longer have to guarantee execution at a centrally displayed best price, an AMM holding tokenized shares could quote and settle trades on its own terms. The SEC's proposal, as reported, frames the deletion as clearing a path rather than building a new framework, which is a faster way to change behavior than writing fresh rules. A proposal, not a done deal. Worth stating plainly, this is a proposed change, not a final rule. SEC rulemaking runs through a notice and comment process, and a proposal of this scale would draw heavy input from exchanges, market makers, and investor protection groups before anything takes effect. The Order Protection Rule has defenders who credit it with tightening spreads and protecting retail orders, so the comment period is likely to be contested. The reason the proposal still matters today is the direction it signals. Scrapping a 20-year market structure pillar is not a quiet technical edit. It tells tokenization issuers and DeFi builders that the agency is willing to remove old equity market plumbing rather than force on-chain trading to imitate it. On-chain securities have been waiting for this. The timing lands in the middle of a tokenization push. Over the past weeks, Citigroup outlined a plan for tokenized private company securities. DBS moved to sell tokenized physical gold to retail customers in Singapore, and Circle brought institutional Bitcoin on-chain. Most of these efforts still settle through permissioned or order book-style venues precisely because pool-based trading sat in a regulatory gray zone for U.S. securities. An AMM model would change the liquidity picture for tokenized stocks. Instead of waiting for a matched buyer and seller, holders could trade against a standing pool at any hour, the same way they swap tokens on a decentralized exchange today. That is the practical unlock the proposal points toward, assuming it survives the rulemaking process intact. The connection to on-chain spending, tokenized equities, stablecoins, and the wallets behind crypto cards increasingly share the same settlement rails. When more real-world assets can trade and settle on-chain through pool-based venues, the balance is sitting in a self-custody wallet that funds a card start to include more than just crypto-native tokens. A friendlier stance on AMM trading of U.S. securities widens what on-chain liquidity can hold, which over time feeds the same infrastructure that powers stablecoin spending and on-chain card top-ups. None of that is immediate. The proposal has to clear comment periods, possible revisions, and the threat of legal challenge. For now, the concrete development is the SEC putting a 2-decade-old rule on the chopping block and naming AMMs and tokenized securities as part of the reason.